Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Byte by ewiz Commerce. For those who are listening to us for the first time, Byte by ewiz Commerce is a publication where we curate relevant AI stories, relevant digital transformation stories in the world of e-commerce, AI, and we also invite experts from different fields, different industries to share those business insights with you to help you improve your business practices, and ultimately your processes. Today we again have Michael Vax. For those who haven't seen our first two episodes, this is the third episode in our playlist, which we call as the complete guide to mastering AI-powered B2B commerce. And going back to about Michael Vax, Michael is a celebrated expert in digital commerce with a remarkable 3-decade journey in IT and e-commerce. He has played pivotal roles in at industry giants like Hybris, Spryker by SAP, Elasticpart. He is also the author of AI in e-commerce, which explains the strategic uses of AI in enhancing customer experiences and optimizing operations. You will find that book on Amazon, and you will also find the link in our YouTube channel. He's passionate about nurturing e-commerce talent, so he has very specialized courses at his new website, which is called CommerceisDigital, for both B2B and B2C. These courses range from e-commerce training for business leaders to implementing AI in e-commerce. And today we are going to talk to him about some very specific topics where we are going to understand the criticality, the importance of choosing the right e-commerce platform and the right e-commerce partner for your business. So thank you, Michael, for joining us. Welcome again.
Pleasure.
So, like we discussed, today we are going to speak mostly about how do you choose the right platform. And there are enough content pieces out there about how to choose the right platform. I'm going to add one more element to this, which I am sure you will also agree with me, is platform is important as well as getting the right partner to deploy, to work with you, to drive e-commerce success is also important. So how would you go about it? First, should you reach out, look for the right partner, or is it the right platform? How would you go about it?
I think that usually in industry, I would say it's half and half. And it's more kind of historically, if company doesn't have a partner, then they may start researching vendors. If they already have a partner, the trusted partner, and definitely they should, then they may go with make partner as a part of this research and recommendation. Yeah. And when it comes to B2B, it's really important to find both vendor and partner who actually have experience in B2B. Yeah? So that is equally important.
Agreed. I'll tell you the reason for asking this very specific question, because we have come across a lot of cases, and I'll like to quote the recent one where we had a prospect who was hellbent on a specific platform. They were very specific that we want this because we have heard some great things about it, and it was actually a very great, it is a very great platform. But when we looked at their requirements were extremely custom, which none of the standard platforms could cater to.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to opt and recommend them a very custom stack where we, choose multiple things and built a very, customized version of a e-commerce platform for them. So, which was completely up to their needs. So, hence the question which, I asked you on whether it's platform or partner. But if you had to first start with the platform, if anybody needs to go out and look for the right B2B e-commerce platform, what are the top 5 things you would recommend them to consider while evaluating it?
Let's start with requirements. Yeah. Because everything requirements come from a business, what business case you need to do, what the industry is doing. The rest is actually secondary. Yeah.
Right.
But in B2B, what I'm finding out, actually, I have a blog post even on this topic, that B2B is very confusing because different people means different things under B2B. And we're using kind of this single term B2B that doesn't help to make any decision. Because what type of B2B? Okay. And let's try to dissect it through multiple perspectives. One is some people saying, as soon as I sell to businesses, I'm selling B2B. But it also could be some companies who are selling just standard product, I don't know, office supplies. Yeah, you can buy paper for printer at home, or you can buy paper printer for your office. Yeah, so I call it simple B2B, and the simple by nature of products, nature of business, they do. Yeah, and but there's also another spectrum. There may be a manufacturer who is selling very complex equipment or complex machinery or spare parts for this complex machinery. Yeah, has millions of SKUs and custom pricing and all of that. We also call it B2B. So which B2B are you? Yeah, so this is kind of one spectrum. Is it simple B2B or is really no limit to complexity and from what you're selling and how you sell and all of that. Yeah, so this is the first thing, because when people saying, "Oh, we have B2C platform, but we can also do B2B," most likely they are referring to the simple B2B versus more complex B2B. Yeah, so the first thing. The other thing I think is very important to understand your industry. Yeah, because I'm selling B2B. I may be selling consumer kind of regular goods to B2B. I may be selling machinery. I may be selling insurance. I may be selling travel. Yeah. What B2B? Yeah. So, as I said, really, people first need to analyze where I am in the spectrum of complexity, and second, what is my industry. And both of these parameters are important to selecting both your vendor as well as your agencies that is going to help, because ideally you would like to have both vendors and agencies having experience in all of these points,
right?
Industry and complexity. Yeah,
they should be able to guide you on both these points.
Yes, they should show you that platforms they're dealing with is really B2B platform if you need this complexity. And they show they have experience of implementing B2B for in fashion industry versus telco. So that is, I think, the most important thing. And this frames our discussion of what platform to select and what features to select.
Agreed. Yeah, the complexity and the industry, definitely the top two. These will get your requirements on, at least set the direction on where you need to go.
Exactly. So now returning to your original question, sorry for this interruption, but I think it's the most important part of our discussion. What features to select? And let's focus on complex B2B, because simple B2B, in most cases, you can get away practically with any platform. Yes, you need to do some modification, all of that, but really you need specialized B2B platform as soon as you go beyond selling toilet paper and paper for printers, yeah, like things like that. Yeah. Several things, I think, and here a regular B2C platform just is not going to cut it. You really need to have B2B specific features, yeah. And they come from points that you have very different customer. Your customer is organization. Yeah. So one of the parameters of this complexity is how complex are organizations that are buying from you. Yeah. If it's just one person in person department who is buying office suppliers, you're okay with having one account. And this, again, any B2C platform can provide you with it. Yeah? But as soon as you have a large organization, they usually selling complex products and expensive products. Yeah? Most likely you're going to have multiple people involved in purchasing. It's collaborative decision. It's workflow.
Right.
Yeah? And this point that you have multiple people involved really goes through entire e-commerce functionality. First, what is your account? It's not a personal account. It's actually a company account that has multiple users under.
Yes.
And these users have different roles. Okay. So that's immediately, as soon as you have complexity and selling to large organization, you need to have different account management. And B2C platforms don't have it. So that's a kind of must-have for any B2B platform. Yeah. And then it's continuous because you have collaborative process. You need to have multiple people having different access. And you can also assume, like if you're selling to enterprise, that people have different roles. So maybe some technical expert who knows how to buy. People have maybe somebody manager who needs to approve the purchase. Somebody in purchase department who needs to do it. So then you basically need to have these different permissions, work approval, workflow, and so on. And other very, very important point is that in big organization, you can have multiple purchasing in process.
Right.
Yeah. So you immediately need multiple shopping carts. And most of B2B shopping carts don't support multiple shopping. They have one. I'm consumer. I either have something in my shopping cart or not. Yeah. So that's probably will be the first one.
Yes, agreed. I mean, it's the company account and not a personal account. So you need to cater to each requirement, each complexity within those accounts as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Moving on, kind of what other features? So you because you usually selling this to organizations, and in B2B, many customers have agreements with their vendor. Okay, and this agreement may be multi-year agreement that may include prices, may include delivery options, may even include shipping methods. So when customer A is coming to your site, you need to show this customer pricing. Right. And for customer B, God forbid, you show customer A pricing. Yeah.
Yes.
So pricing immediately becomes different. Immediately. Yeah. And very complex. And complexity is also those many companies who were in business for a long time have accumulated a lot of history, a lot of legacy with these agreements with customers that were made many years ago. Nobody remember why and how. But I saw things like for this category, you have 10% discount. For this product, you have fixed price. And for this product, you get list prices. Yeah. So it can be so complex that one customer asked me very strange features. They said, we won't allow our customers to download the price lists. Because basically on customer side, they don't understand what costs what, because all these complex rules. Yeah.
Agreed.
In general, and I'm sure that you are giving this recommendation as well, before implementing e-commerce, I highly recommend to my customers to actually clean up the data, to simplify. Absolutely. Because in most cases, it's just historical data. It's not necessarily they benefit the margin. Yeah.
Agreed.
So can they have 3-5 standard price lists, and then just maybe for the VIP customer have some special agreements and so on. But pricing is definitely very different in B2B.
Yeah. And if you don't have this in place, that is one, you can't have the right requirement specs in place. And even if you somehow figure that out, it is going to delay your deployment, because at some point you realize I need this. I can't have this visible to other customer. How do I fix this? And you go back to the drawing board. We
Yes,
didn't
and
know about
then
this.
what right advisor and right agency can do for you, they can actually calculate how many price points you have. Yeah. And it's okay in ERP because ERP is not serving hundreds of customers from the web. Yeah. But you may find out that some you have these price points in millions. And if you select a wrong e-commerce platform, it may not be able to handle that. Or you need to implement direct calls to ERP, which is again is not the best idea because ERP is not designed to do it. So here's complexity also has effect on scalability. Yeah. And this should be part of requirements and it should be part of technical analysis before, again, selecting platform and do it. In most cases, B2B sites have different type of scalability challenges. In B2C, it's just people hitting you from all points and thousands or millions of customers trying to buy something. Yeah? In B2B, it's different. In B2B, it's complexity of pricing, complexity of catalog, SKU, how many SKUs you have. Yeah, are they organized in variants or not? Because some of them actually don't. Yeah, and then again, that's e-commerce platform. How to optimize e-commerce platform or select e-commerce platform in the first place? They can handle millions of SKUs, millions of price points. Yeah. And it's a different level of scalability, but it's still questions that needs to be solved before you have lunch and your site crashes.
Yeah. So all these definitely point to one critical factor, which is the scope or the ability to customize your platform to the complex B2B process that we spoke about.
Yes, absolutely. So there's no exactly the same implementation ever. Yeah. Because also B2B companies, they have an IT infrastructure already. It's existing because they're running the business. They can have very complex ERP and it may be set up in some ways that may or may not be compatible with e-commerce. Yeah. And they're relying on knowledge of their salespeople to navigate through this non-perfect data and non-perfect setup. Yeah. But customer doesn't have this internal knowledge, internal skills. And as soon as you go e-commerce, you're actually exposing it all to customers. Yeah. And here is really, this were really good analysis and knowledge and understanding of e-commerce across all your organization is important. This is why I created B2B e-commerce training courses. Yeah. Because most often, B2B e-commerce projects fail not because of technology. Yeah, they fail because of lack of knowledge and understanding across all levels of organization, and lack of commitment and support on different levels, from executive to salespeople, and positioning in the right way in organization to succeed. And this is as important as technology. And right partner can actually guide you through these organizational changes to make your e-commerce implementation success. I know it's not really topic of our today's conversation, but
no.
it's so important.
I actually believe, Michael, I actually believe you touched upon a very important point. You know, like you just said, a lot of, like I said, there are a lot of articles out there who talk about all the features and capabilities on evaluating, the right e-commerce platform, the right enterprise e-commerce platform to be specific. But no one really talks about the knowledge, because it is necessary at both ends. Even if the partner or the agency is expert at B2B commerce, you need to ensure the customer or the prospect also is equally knowledgeable, because they need to make those decisions. They need to understand that this is possible. I can do this if I get this. I can do this if this tech is integrated with my B2B e-commerce store. So the upskilling factor, you can't expect the prospect or the customer just to do it on themselves. They have thousands of different things to take care of. if the partner or the agency can also help them upskill, I think that is a complete package.
Mhm.
I mean, you know that you can rely on these people because they are not just offering me tech, but also helping my business adapt to using that tech.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And it's not only technology really upskilling, because here is again your implementation partner can help you a lot, yeah. But it's understanding of e-commerce business, understanding in B2B, and this is kind of why I actually created two types of courses. One is for implementation team, and second for business team, for salespeople, for marketing people, for leaders, for executives, yeah. Because again, you need to understand how e-commerce different, how to use it effectively, and so on. And returning to the features, because it's kind of main topic of our episode today, the sales team in every B2B organization. And the sales team is really a source of knowledge about
Right.
products, about how to use them, about what company is selling, about how they're better than competition, what use cases to use them, and so on. And the one important question is how e-commerce platform can incorporate this knowledge and the existing sales processes into digital world. Yeah? So it's never e-commerce versus sales team. Nobody positions this way if you're selling something more complex than toilet paper. Yeah, it's how to get them working together. Yeah, and for this, right e-commerce B2B e-commerce platform should have multiple features. One of them should be ability for a salesperson to log in into e-commerce platform on the customer behalf and help them to create either shopping list or create even cart, add comments and recommend something. So really it's ability to using
Assist the
this tool.
customer.
Yeah, it's a assisted selling.
Yes,
Because of
yes.
complexity, because of all of it. And going step forward, you also in B2B, it's quite often that people using request for quote.
Right.
And yes, it can be done on back end. So you go to ERP, you create a request for quote, you set PDF through email, somebody read it, reply, it goes back and forth. Or in a good e-commerce platform, it's actually built in.
Yes.
So me as a customer, I'm creating my shopping cart using all usability built into e-commerce platform. And then I think, okay, instead of buying it, I want to convert it to quote. I'm converting it to quote. I send it to my account manager. Account manager logins into the same platform, look at it, modify prices, add, remove some products. So now I have a second version of this quote, add comments, send it again. So this process becoming much more efficient, much more transparent, yeah, and you can really negotiate the quote much faster and efficiently, and doing with customer or with customer-based prices. A knowledgeable salesperson can recommend maybe different product or different quantity to qualify you for different discount and so on. Not only customer benefits, but also your sales team is all of a sudden, instead of feeling threatened by commerce implementation, is feel empowered. They can do more
Right.
deep. They can do them faster and do it. And if they feel this way and it benefits them from commission perspective and so on, they're actually going to direct customers to e-commerce platform versus saying, no, you better call me and I help you. Yeah? So that's a very important feature for both for customers and internal adaptation.
Right. I think that's I mean, we also touched upon this in our last episode as well. If a businesses nails this on get how to get the sales team on board, the adoption would just skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I mean, if you are able to digitize the sales process, they could focus their time on building building relationships and not just doing the grunt work. they would be a lot more happier, because now they can actually focus on the customer and not do all the grunt work at the back end, which either ways most of us hate. So I think, I would also add one element to this, which is sort of, you also covered, is having those sales and marketing tools as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that could be the catalog creator, could be the email marketing, could be the bot, could be the RFQ feature, or maybe locate the nearest dealer. All those things, I mean, so they know that they can use the big e-commerce portal as a sales tool while having that conversation with the customer. Everything
Yeah,
happens digitally with record automation, efficiency all throughout.
absolutely.
So a great one. So definitely we touched upon customizations, involvement of sales. I believe with all those things, it also leads to the integration part, which is extremely critical for
Yes, yes,
everybody.
yes.
So on an average, how many systems do you see integrating with a complex B2B store?
Yeah, it's a big
I
question.
mean, we can start with the
Um,
first one, ERP.
yes, some of them is obvious. It's ERP, yeah. But when we talk about ERP, it's more than one integration.
Yeah.
Because in ERP, we can have overall, when we talk about integration in e-commerce, we need to see what type of data we're talking about. That's the easiest way to look at it. So there's product data, there's content, like a description, marketing content, all that. There are prices,
Right.
yeah, prices with promotion and all that. And there's orders.
Right.
And customers. So that's kind of 5 main type of data, yeah. And you always need to, in any project that you're evaluating, you need to say, okay, let's draw flow of this data, of this type of data.
Right.
Where is the source? Where is the master copy? Where it's enriched with some additional information? Where it can be modified and where it's end up, yeah. And that's really basically, there's a saying, follow the money, yeah. So when designing e-commerce system, I say follow the data. And by mapping out what's going on with your data, you'll see what integrations, what system you need. That's kind of the easiest way to look at it. Because with ERP, you probably need to integrate for product data, for pricing, and orders. Yeah. But it's also possible that you have a PIM system. In this case, you actually source of data coming, product data coming from PIM, maybe merged with ERP, there's some sync on base information, but prices can still go to ERP. But promotion you may decide to handle in e-commerce system. But some companies have such inflexible ERP implementation that they reject any order that comes with a price that is not there. So in this case, you need to handle promotion also in ERP, which limits your marketing capabilities and speed reacting to market and all of that. But in general, yes, it's definitely ERP, maybe PIM, Product Information Management System. Marketing ideally should have its own freedom to innovate with promotion and all that. So they need to have content management system, and then it's all needs to be merged in the storefront. Yeah. Orders at the end definitely needs to end up with ERP. And then you may have either ERP sending orders to warehouses, or e-commerce system also may be doing some order management, just sending orders to different places, depending on complexity of the business. Because you may decide, depending on the availability, to fulfill order from different warehouse, which may influence shipping price and so on. So order orchestration may be done in e-commerce system, or may be done in separate OMS or the management system, or may be done in ERP. And this is where really good agency and implementation provider should analyze this. And each of these options has pros and cons. and cost and time associated with it. Yeah. So that's kind of, there's no single answer, but definitely follow the data flow and you find map at what you're doing now. And then if you're adding e-commerce, how it's going to change.
Yeah. So for our audience, I'll just add one example to what just Michael said, because it sounds a lot complicated, and it is. So please, that's not an illusion. It's actually a lot complicated. But let me try and give you an example of a simple version of a complex B2B. So one of the recent deployments that we did is we built a online portal which is B2C plus B2B. The order and the customer data for the B2B comes from their ERP, which is Business Central, which gets pushed to their online store. Each customer has a specific customer pricing, which is visible for them on the store, with specific taxes, specific some shipping costs. So that's one. For B2C, you can buy on the store. For B2B, they have to log in and see those specific pricing, and they don't use the payment gateway. They just place an order. So the rest of the transaction happens offline. They are also integrated with Amazon and eBay, which pushes the product and order data from those stores directly to their ERP. So there's ERP, there is the online store, there are those marketplaces, and
Yes.
prospect was confused. So there's just one single source of truth, which is the ERP. We highly recommend it. You don't mess with it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We forgot to mention two other integration points. One is payments. Yeah, and payment provider. Now are a number of good B2B specific payment providers. And the second is integration if you're selling through additional channels. Yeah, then I'm now actually working with one startup where we are using artificial intelligence to automatically enrich and transform data for different channels from different vendors. And this is a super complex task.
So we covered most of the key factors of evaluation. I believe the last one which we should be discussing is your favorite one, which is, and my favorite one as well, which is AI and personalization.
Customization.
AI essentially is what I'm saying. How AI can also be a key factor for automation, personalization, while selecting the right platform or vendor.
It's a very difficult question. From one side, all e-commerce vendors started to kind of joining AI hype or movement, or how you want to call it. Yeah.
Everybody wants to have
that. Many of them are doing it wholeheartedly and really investing a lot of exception will be actually Shopify, which I'm super impressed, is really putting a lot of AI things into it. So right now, I would say for AI, because it's such a new market, it's not necessarily platform itself, especially B2B platform, is going to have things you need, but you need to look at a different vendor that's doing some kind of point solutions. Enhancing product data or search providers, which search in some cases should be separate system from e-commerce itself, or configurators or some AI kind of recommendation engine. So I would say right now, I would, if I'm searching for a solution, I would do much broader search. And you may incorporate additional systems, maybe from younger companies or specialized companies to add AI to your B2B implementation. I don't think, having said so, many of them are adding some AI solution, but really it depends on the requirements. Where do you want to do it to change customer experience? For example, selling complex machinery, you probably would benefit from having virtual reality or augmented reality to get how this machine works, how to assemble it, how to buy spare parts, and all of that.
Agreed. Not every, I mean, I 100% agree with you. Not every business would need AI to start with. It completely depends on your business requirement. And based on that, the platform you choose may or may not have those capabilities, but it definitely should have the integration capabilities. So in future, if you need something to sit at on top of it, the platform as well as the partner should have the capability to do that for you, because your business cases are going to be complex, like we just spoke about.
And it's going to change. Like, it's such a new thing that systems that we're using this year will be obsolete probably a year from now. It just always happens when there's such explosion of ideas, new technology developing very fast. So it's more important to keep your eye on it than really firmly commit yourself to one particular vendor at that point.
Great. So I think we covered some really good points for today's one, and I don't want to discuss anything further because this was a standalone topic to itself with so many details. So to summarize, folks, all the points that Michael just mentioned that we just discussed are relevant for the extreme complex B2B that we spoke about, because the rest of the basic stuff won't be a challenge. But the deeper you go, it's a different animal to itself. And without the right advice, you will just get stuck. So we highly recommend choose the right partner, choose the right platform, and do ensure that even your internal teams are learning, are evolving, are upskilling themselves to ensure that they stay relevant with all those technologies. And that's where, Michael's courses also come to play. uh, Michael, if you can just spend 2 minutes detailing your courses, where to find them, that would be great.
Super. Thank you, Deepak. So you should go to my site, which is CommerceisDigital.com. And there you find several courses. Some of them are for B2C and others are for B2B. And also I have two tracks. One is implementation team track. So it's for everybody involved in implementation, from project managers to business analysts to program managers, and also people who are involved in operations, people who operate e-commerce at the end. Yeah. So e-commerce managers, and also even developers, because there may be great developers and all great technology, but they need to understand e-commerce domain. Yeah. And the second one is more for business leaders. So it's for trade, your salespeople, marketing people, account managers, director level people, and so on. Yeah. In addition, you'll find the free artificial intelligence course that will tell you how artificial intelligence can be applied in e-commerce, all different use cases, front end and back end.
Awesome. That is great. Thank you, Michael. And thank you today for joining us. And it has been a great session on a very relevant topic. So, thank you again. And we'll soon come back to you and our audience with a new topic relevant to mastering AI in B2B commerce. So, thank you again. Have a great day.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.